This is cool. This is the Google Earth rendering of the trip. We had a GPS software on the boat that was taking our position once every hour, and then periodically I'd zip it up and send it back to Craig and Seth, and they put it on Google Earth.
Yeah, we Seth and I did some XML editing to convert the GPS info from that tracking service and get it up on the
iBoat
Google Earth.
yeah.
And this is your starting pier in Boston.
Boston Harbor.
And there you are.
There's the Griffin. And this is where we lived for a month.
Did you take it on a dry run in the harbor before?
We meant to, but when Craig was in town, Craig flew up the weekend before, and to install the camera and put all the electronics on board, and never made it out for a test run.
So you just you didn't do a beta test. You just went across the Atlantic.
We just went across the Atlantic.
That's one way to make sure.
I never even got a ride on the boat.
Yeah, we spent the night on the boat, but.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Yeah, right between. That's actually where we hit our first storm. There's
right between the Titanic and the Andrea Gale.
Good thing we didn't know we were right between the Titanic and Andrea Gale when we hit our perfect storm. You can see all the wind vectors there overlaid on our route, and you see we drifting backwards. More on that later.
But no, I never even rode on the boat. However, the night before we went out to dinner to a crab shack place on the dinghy.
The Barking Crab, yeah, we did a dinghy ride over there.
A dinghy ride over there into the.
They're the Azores, and this is where we hit our second big storm, where we hit Hurricane 3 conditions, and decided, it's about time we need to go a little bit further south, and that's where we jogged down to Madeira. And our island driving experience, and rented a convertible.
So in this Google Earth flyby, the ones on the water, obviously the boat, and all the yellow dots there are their car trip. They had a Garmin. Was it a Garmin?
Yeah, Garmin handheld.
GPS on the dashboard of the car, which also kept track information, and I added that to the Google Earth files when Shane emailed them to me from the boat.
Was it snowy when you were there?
No, it looked like this.
I see.
Yeah. It was a beautiful island. Beautiful island.
People speak Spanish there?
Portuguese. And then here is... we decided at that point, after we left Madeira, the winds weren't going to cooperate for a couple days. So we decided to go... We're going to have to use a little bit of the engine, and we decided to go to Africa. And stopped in Morocco. This is a fish we bartered for an entrance into the harbor.
Did you trade him a bottle of wine for that fish?
Yeah, we'll talk more about the story later, but eventually traded him a bottle of wine for that fish and guidance into the harbor. So we rented a little Ford Escort and took it through the back roads of Morocco. There's a little jog we went off-roading, and a picture of that somewhere in here, and then finally made it into Marrakesh.
How long of a drive was this?
Oh, probably 3-4 hours if you were just to do it straight. We kind of did a few detours along the way. This was the main bazaar in Marrakesh, and snake charmers in the square.
I think those guys have a franchise. They're going to come to Overland Park.
Charmers are us.
Right.
Actually, here in Kansas City, there's a guy from that city. He opened up a buffet called Marrakesh, and I go there for lunch every month or so.
After we left, we landed in El Jadida, Morocco, and headed then to the Strait of Gibraltar. And at that point, we really didn't know what the end destination was. And a couple days from the strait, the boat broker called up and said, "Hey, I have a place for you in Gibraltar." And so this is where we ended up putting it. You see the Rock of Gibraltar right there, and there's the rock, and there's the Griffin, and that's where it stands today.
I mean, Waleed left it there to be sold, right?
Yep.
Well, there you go.
1 month at sea.